Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight on Southpaw's Tales from the Barstool. I am your host, JD, and to my right, as always, is my beautiful wife, Kat. The hot, funny one.
Like I got nothing better to do.
You don't have anything better to do.
Stop it.
We have no fucking life. We're boring.
Excuse me, sir. I passed a medical board examination today and got an advanced certification, advanced license. So suck it.
She has been studying her ass off for
I got a 94 on a
weeks.
medical board today. So I'm just saying.
So, yeah, she's a badass. So I need to put that in her description. The hot, funny, and badass one.
Yeah, you never put smart one, but you never
I
leave
put
out
the smart
hot.
one. Well, I married you because you're hot, not because of your brains.
Wow!
Hey.
I don't think that's good.
No, that's great. I still oogle your goodies after 20 years. That should say something. So if you are joining us.
You would oogle my brain. Okay, that didn't come out.
Wow.
Never mind.
Disregard. Take that out in post. If you are joining us live, make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give them permission to see your name. That way we can see who's making the comments. Tonight we got a special guest, Dr. Tony Brooks. He was the part of the 75th Ranger Regiment, who was on the rescue and recovery mission for Operation Red Wings. If you don't know what that is, that was lone survivor Marcus Luttrell. Marcus gets all the glory for living. Tony needs some glory for making sure that shit happens, so we'll give him that tonight. Man, that really came off insensitive, but I don't give a shit. We're moving forward. Make sure that you check out all of our.
That explains my husband. People, good job, sweetie. So all of our 8 followers are now down to 6. So that was fun.
We appreciate that one.
We had a good run.
3 years was good, right?
We had a good run.
So you can check out all of our old train wreck episodes at YouTube and any of your favorite podcasting platforms under the name Southpaw's Tales from the Barstool.
Yeah, man.
Tonight, since we have a Ranger on the show, we are drinking a beer from Ranger Creek Distilling and Brewery. If you want to grab us some beers, like at the banner.
It is the San Antonio Lager is what I had to check because there was a few by them that we actually liked, so we got to try them, as y'all saw at the
beer summit.
The beer summit that we went to. What was that, a year ago? And
almost a year ago, yeah.
So we got to try several of their whiskey and then several of their beers. This is one of the ones we liked. So
yeah, it's a lager. They're based in San Antonio, so this is the San Antonio Lager. It's a 5.2% alcohol by volume. There's all kinds of other acronyms on here with numbers, and I don't know what any of them mean, so I'm not going to read them all off. You can check them out on their website.
Brix, BRIX. 12.5 IBU 15, so an SRM 3. So if you are beer smart and you want to help educate us beer dumb people, please go ahead and put it in the comments and let us know what it is.
And with that, I'm cracking mine open and drinking.
Oh well, cheers, fucker! Like damn.
Ooh,
seriously,
fucking tasty.
Didn't even cheers me. Didn't tap the
You're
table.
taking too long. Taking too long. So let's speaking of taking too long, let's move on with our sponsors so we can get into it with our guest, Dr. Tony Brooks.
Oh yeah, sorry.
that's your cue. We're goddamn professionals here.
He didn't even give me a chance to talk about like fisting that like button or anything. So I thought you were taking over tonight. So our first sponsor, like always, is 5x5 Brewing Company, Battleborn, Texas-made veteran brewing company based in Mission, Texas, co-founded by Army vet George Rice, with beers like the 40mm Stout, Burnett Bombshell, and the Foo Bar, which JD was drinking earlier tonight. It's no surprise this brewery is taking over the Texas market from the Valley to the Panhandle. Ask your local bar, restaurant, or grocer to start carrying 5x5 Brewing Company today. You can get a hold of them at 956-445-5421. You can get their information on facebook.com/5x5 brewing, or go to 5x5brewing.com, or you can email them at info@5x5brewing.com.
Man, that was probably the best read you've done so far. Let's see if we can keep it up.
Oh, okay, cool. Our next sponsor is O-Emoji Construction, Marine vet Seth Knox and Matt Anders. General contracting services. Oh, see, I already fucked it up. You put too much pressure on me. So general contractor service in the greater Houston, Texas area with a focus on concrete. No job too big or too small, from residential to commercial and industrial foundations and pads. OMOG Construction has you covered. You can get their information at omogco.com, facebook.com/omogco, or Instagram omogco.
And a little sneak preview. They are they're getting ready to open a food truck, not OMOG food truck, but they're getting ready to open one in the Houston area, and I can't wait. It's gonna be tacos, and everybody loves tacos.
We have, how far of a drive it is to Houston, freaking Texas. Like,
who cares?
They better be good ass tacos. Like, I better get some asada. I better get some cilantro. I don't know.
All that good shit. So our next sponsor is Quick Start Mortgage Group, powered by You Mortgage, owned by Nathan Einkorn, who is a proud member of the vetted VA. It's the convenience of an online lender, only with better rates and dedicated staff of highly trained mortgage brokers to make sure your mortgage process goes smoothly. You can get a hold of them at Einkorn@umortgage.com. That's the letter U, 720-980-9988. Facebook at Quick Start Mortgage Group, and Instagram at Colorado Mortgage Broker. Like I said, they do specialize in VA loans. So if you're looking for one of those, they're not going to add on a bunch of bullshit fees and crap like that, like so many predatory lenders do. So make sure you get a hold of them.
They have their own total differently bullshit.
Yeah. They don't have like bullshit.
I was just kidding.
And finally, our last sponsor for tonight is my favorite entrepreneurial magazine, Shift Advanced Life Design, which I've been featured in 3 times. Toot toot. Yep. I'm gonna need that chiropractor to fix my back from patting it so much.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm sure.
But the entire staff of Shift Advanced Life Design is Air Force veterans, active, reserves, guard, retired, etc. Dr. Rob Garcia is in fact a Air Force Master Sergeant himself. But you can get all kinds of great business advice, interviews, and more there. You can go to shiftlifedesign.com. Make sure you go check out all of the old publications there, where you can find me featured 3 times. God damn, it feels so good. That's my only claim to fame.
That was only 2. That was actually
we'll get back at it.
Oh.
And then finally,
you want me to do it?
Yeah. You can do
Knucklehead Media Group, who does our editing and distribution with Marine veteran Stephen Colon, covering all of your podcasting and media needs, from audio and video editing to strategy planning to global online distribution. This professional team of experts takes your idea and makes it a reality while providing you the knowledge and experience to help you grow your audience and reach. You can get their information at knucklehead.agency, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, knuckleheadmg.
Outstanding. Awesome. So without further ado, we're going to bring our guest on, Dr.
All of y'all are here for
Tony Brooks. And as a quick reminder for everybody, if you are joining us via Facebook, make sure you go to streamyard.com/Facebook so we can see who's making the comments. Jean says, did Kat change her hair? Yes, she did. We're not going to talk about that right now.
It's not about me, Jean.
It's about Dr. Tony Brooks tonight. Gene Sticko was a guest earlier this year and during our first year, but he's actually put his hat in the ring for presidential candidate this year. He's an Air Force veteran. So just something for food for thought.
So Dr. Tony, what do you have to offer? We have a presidential candidate here asking questions.
I have nothing to offer on that front, but as a chiropractor, you made a couple chiropractic jokes, and I'm actually looking at your sign that says on air right now.
Yes.
And I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but it is crooked.
Oh yeah,
it's not crooked.
My camera is crooked.
It's our camera's crooked.
My camera is crooked.
I can see it. It's one tilted towards him, and then 2, it's like off kiltered. So it's not the sign.
No, the sign is extremely level. The camera is not.
The camera.
So
okay.
I was like, it better not be. Oh no, it's cool.
Like we do with everybody, man. We want to give you a good 3 minutes to give yourself your intro, plug whatever wares you want to plug, websites, books, courses, anything you want to do, your chiropractic business, all that stuff. Your 3 minutes starts now.
All right. So I'm Dr. Tony Brooks. I have a chiropractic clinic in Conroe, Texas, Freedom Chiropractic. I named it that for a very specific reason. I moved from Washington State to Texas, and I'm a veteran, so freedom is very, very important to me.
Which they don't have in Washington State.
They don't. And I'm happy to say I'm loving Texas, and I'm never leaving here ever. the reason I'm on the show though is not because I'm an awesome chiropractor, it's because I wrote a book. Leave No Man Behind. It's about the rescue of Marcus Luttrell in Afghanistan in 2005. I happen to be, and I got to correct something. I saw an ad or a note that said I led the team to rescue Marcus. No, I was actually the lowest ranking person there.
Oh, I was misinformed then. I will have
The
to
lowest.
correct all those.
It's okay. It's kind of funny because I was literally the lowest ranking person there. So I was the newest, youngest, bushy-tailed private on the mountain. I had no clue what I was in for. If you want to read about it, it's Leave No Man Behind. You can check it out at drtonybrooks.com. I think that's
quick,
enough.
Sweet, and to the point.
Yeah. If JD could read a little faster and would have read your whole book, or at least the first chapter, he would have done that. You didn't lead the team.
I was. I'm not going to name any names, but the person I was pretty sure the person that introduced us said that you led it, or maybe I just misunderstood.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh well,
Maybe.
you were part of a team. You were part of something way cooler than I ever was.
I mean, hell yeah!
And it's kind of one of those thrust into situations. It's not like you asked to be part of that, obviously.
Did you just burp?
Yeah, it happens. So I don't want to talk about your book too much because I want people to go and read it for themselves. It was a good read. I just have one issue with it, and that is your reference to Lord of the Rings.
Actually,
I think that the I think Star Wars would have been way better than Lord of the Rings.
How dare you? For one. Two, I was gonna say anyone who starts off talking about Lord of the Rings in their book and making a reference to that, mad props. I'm in. I'm 100% in.
I will 100% say that was not my idea at all.
Really?
Not at all. It was my co-author. He said, "Have you ever seen that movie?" And I'm like, "No, I'll go watch it." And I went and watched it, and I'm like, "Actually, we can use that as an intro." It was all Bob Welch. It was not me. I went along with it because I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, it is. It's really good. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm not going to ruin it for anybody watching or listening, but it definitely makes sense, especially once you get into the book and everything, where you go through these epic sagas and you get home and it's like no one even realized you were gone. So you're kind of
like looking at you right now.
Background, you're like a part of the ambiance.
Yeah, looking at you right now, I would have never, ever guessed you're a ranger.
Rude. What does that mean?
He's got a very unassuming look about him. It's
perfect. I love it because anytime I go on the news, they're like, "So you're the guest? Okay." Yeah. No, I don't care really. I don't have an ego or anything. But a lot of it is because these glasses, like if I wasn't wearing the glasses, it wouldn't be as big a deal. But this makes me look really nerdy.
Is that it? I know. It's not
what you need is the oversiped beret and the half can of Copenhagen in your lip, and then you'd be perfect ranger material.
You need just a little bit more attitude for wasn't your brother an Army Ranger?
Yeah,
he was.
And then look at my brother who was a ranger. Some of our friends, Paul.
Oh yeah.
But they look like the typical
cliche.
Square jaw.
Yeah.
Square jaw. Even the beard is like
I can
perfect.
Yes.
I'm like, God, that beard envy so bad.
Yeah. JD bought a beard straightener to like live up to that.
Oh, my shit is so nappy if I don't use that straightener. Like
beard straightener.
It looks. I'm not gonna say what it looks like when I don't do it.
Pubes.
Everyone knows.
Oh, I was gonna say worse shit than pubes.
Oh, were you?
Oh yeah. So
you clearly did not straighten him right now, like a homeless man sitting in front of.
So I've got to ask some of the obvious questions outside of the book.
One?
Like,
can I ask one?
Okay, ask.
Okay, my question is: chiropractic after being an Army Ranger, is it because your back hurts from carrying Marcus Luttrell?
No. Although he is a really big guy and I'm not big. I'm 5'10" and he's what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah, he's a gigantic dude.
He's huge. But no, he definitely could throw me around pretty easily. But yes, my back was jacked up when I got out of the military. So that's how it ended up kind of unfolding.
So I was on the right path. It just wasn't
Yeah.
particularly Marcus Luttrell. It was just fun.
No.
Your turn.
Damn it! Now I forgot what question I was going to ask because you fucked me all up.
I'm sorry. Really?
Man, you.
Oh, I really.
It was
did
right
fuck
there.
him up.
Yeah, it was right there.
You said you're in your kid's playroom. How many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids. I have a 9-year-old and tomorrow a 6-year-old.
Oh wow, boys.
Happy
girls?
birthday.
Boy is my oldest, and my daughter is the one that's turning 6 tomorrow.
Oh, you got one of each, you bastard.
We have 3 boys, so it's nothing but
Lots of testosterone.
nuts and wings
Peeps,
all around
there's
here.
peeps everywhere. I'm pretty sure that I can probably throw a stick and hit urine. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I will tell you that my son is the calm and collected one, and my daughter is the one that's going to knock somebody out.
What? I love a ball busting woman. I love it.
Just like her mother.
I love it. I'm kind of glad we didn't have girls because I thought, you know what? I don't need to compete with another woman with my fucking attitude. Like I can barely handle myself. So there's no way I can deal with another one. Like, I'm good.
No,
I'm good.
There's no fucking way in hell
good.
I can handle another you. I say that with love.
Boy, you can't even handle me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Another me? Like, handle the first one. Damn.
You're right.
Get your girl. You better get your girl.
So I remember what I was going to ask now. So do you and Marcus still stay in touch, or is it kind of just like a short-lived trauma bond, and now it's kind of
know your name?
Honestly, I've actually never met Marcus.
Really?
No.
Not after the books, not after the movie, none of that stuff.
I mean, I reached out to him, but I think he's at a point where he's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want any association with it. I want it to be done. It was the worst time of my life. And
he has to relive it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the fame that came from it.
I mean, I think that was not exactly what he had in mind, but it happened. I don't know.
Do you think I don't want you to speak for him, but do you think that he wrote the book for the same reason where you did, just to kind of get your thoughts down, get them out of your head, and also to let other people just know what
honestly
kind of shit people deal with?
From what I've heard, like, I don't think he wanted to write it at all. I think it was probably a lot of people kind of poking him, trying to get him to do it. And he just finally did it. But I don't know. I don't take him as a guy that wanted to write a book at all. I don't know.
His cameo in Range 15 was pretty fucking funny, though.
Yes, it was.
Is this a Marcus Luttrell show?
No, I'm getting it all done and out of the way because there's people that obviously want to know about it. So I'm asking the questions, and then we're gonna move fucking forward. Jesus Christ, lady.
She loves Marcus, I can tell.
I'm good. Like, I mean, I get it. He had to share his story and stuff, so that's so good for him. And I guess that's probably how he felt. Like, I'm gonna write the book and close this proverbial chapter of my life, and then it exploded, and then there was a movie, and then now he can't even fucking go to a restaurant. So kind of feel bad for the guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, what he went through and what you did being part of the rescue and recovery team, not to downplay what you did, but there are thousands of other stories like that just haven't been told, or
that's why the books
they haven't been told
good.
outside of the VFW, or they, or outside of a therapy group. It's just just one of many, many, many stories.
And I'd actually say that's why Tony's book, it may be a little better for them, just because it is pretty gripped in reality. It's not one story. It's not one instance. It's, it was underwhelming. It's not what you walk in expecting. And it's like, it's not pretty. It's not fun. And it makes it very relatable. Like, someone could read your book and be like, yeah, fuck that guy, or it's like, yeah, been there, done that. And
yeah, it's definitely not a hero story. It's not one you're like, oh my gosh, that guy's amazing when you leave that book. You leave the book saying, like, that was awful. I'm glad he's told that story because it's interesting. I think it's important that the country knows that this happened, but then it's done, right? That's how it goes. It's just a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the whole the idea of just civilians don't know, and not all veterans are willing to talk about it or never get the opportunity to talk about it. So it you know, I didn't do anything as cool as you or you know, being a ranger, like excluding that mission in general, just being a ranger, jumping out of planes. I never got to. I was a dirty leg and didn't get to do any of that cool shit.
I don't
I'm
know
like,
what dirty leg means, but I
It means-
emphatically agree that you are one.
a leg is somebody that is not airborne, does not jump out of planes, just stuck on the ground.
Got it. Thanks.
Honestly, it's a harder job. But yeah, it's kind of a joke in the military that we have this pecking order that it doesn't really exist, but we make it up because we're bored. So we give everybody names, and infantry that don't jump out of airplanes, they're dirty legs. So yeah,
Got it.
it's it really.
But I
But
mean,
he's still leg.
I even found the book relatable, not because I was in the military, because I wasn't, but it's so I work in the medical field. And you walk into it thinking, I'm going to save lives daily and I'm going to get, you know, all this. I don't know. I don't know if I expected praise or thank yous or if people recognition. I don't know what I expected, but I come home covered blood,
Snot,
sweat, urine, and feces, and none of it's mine. So it's like,
I mean, there was that one time.
Thankless. It really is.
yeah, it is. It's very thankless. And then you walk off like, wow. And then there's that one freaking moment where it's all worth it. And you're like, all right. So I'm and you're like, fuck this job. We'll see you tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. And you just like, you go home, you cry in the shower like a winner, and you go back in the next day for the same freaking torture. So yeah, I get it.
All it takes is that one, right?
It does. And see, with my job, it's a little easier. I work in a neonatal intensive care unit. So when you see a baby go home after 3 months, it's everything's freaking worth it. Everything, the screaming, the crying, the coding, the everything.
Yeah, you have cats that just walk into your room. I just had a dog open the door and walk in. Hold on. He wants to say hi. There he is.
Oh, I saw a nose.
His name is Ranger.
His name's Ranger. Yeah.
Sorry, we have a dog named Whiskey.
Yeah, he just opened the door and came in here and. Ranger, come here. He doesn't want to know.
Hi, Mrs. Brooks.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
I love our show.
Don't worry, we will not edit that out in post.
Nope.
It was great.
Stays in.
Ranger.
Because you were just talking about how you have cats that invade your show, and I just
They do. Yes.
Which I'm surprised they haven't come through.
Oh,
yet.
they did right before. That's why I brought it up. Yeah. So awesome. Well, Ranger is forever immortalized via YouTube and StreamYard and everything.
So I've heard that Ranger selection is not special forces, but a leadership school. What is your opinion on that?
Oh, good question.
So Ranger School is mostly a leadership school. That is correct. So it's grueling. It's absolutely brutal. But the only reason it's grueling and you're tired and hungry is because they're trying to simulate the wartime environment. So they take away your food and your sleep. But the whole purpose of the school is to teach you how to lead troops that are tired and hungry. I mean, the hardest part is actually getting other people to listen to you when they're tired and hungry. That is the hardest part of that course. Because obviously when you're in charge and
I have a question.
You are being graded on something, you're instantly awake. Doesn't matter if you haven't slept in days. You're just awake, you do your job, but everyone else is falling asleep on you. So it's definitely leadership.
Yeah, I have a very sincere question for you. Have you thought about starting your own school with the same principle, but for people who want to become parents? Like, we're going to sleep deprive you. We're going to take away your food. And then you're going to control the attitude of your little mini me.
Honestly, I would say that Ranger School prepared me for being a parent more than in life.
Man, we should have gone to Ranger School.
Like we should have gone to Ranger School. Damn. We have a
Yeah.
feral one somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah,
that would
I-
have been super.
Awful because they don't sleep and they take away your food.
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I'd
And then they climb in your bed and kick you in your sleep. And then you're like, oh, good, because I hadn't slept in 3 days. This is going to be awesome.
That sounds about right.
I remember in basic training, I did the tryout for the pararescue in the Air Force, and I got all the way to like the last thing of the tryouts, which is I think it's like 1,000-meter swim or something. I can't remember what the distance was, but it's a long swim, and this is after you've done push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, a run, march across base, 4 other different swim things, and then it was the long swim. I get like a quarter way into it. I'm like, do I want to do this for the next 4 years of my fucking life? And so then I just kept swimming until like 2 or 3 people quit. And I'm like, all right, I wasn't the first. I wasn't the second. Now I can quit.
Explains my husband. Could he have done it? Yeah. But does he want to?
Honestly, I think it was in everybody's best interest for me not to follow through with the mindset I was in. I was extremely immature. Like I'm fucking immature now at 43, but I was really immature.
Choir. You're preaching.
Right. And I think if my body could hold up to it, I could finish something like that now with my mentality. But then, even if I could have finished it then, I don't think it would have been a good idea.
I know you're only like 50, but your body is not 50.
My body's like 80.
Your knees alone are at least 100.
So how does one go from Ranger to chiropractor? Like that's such a
already said that.
No,
he fucked up
he-
his back in the military.
Yeah, he fucked up his back, but everybody fucked up their back, and I've never seen anybody else go to chiropractic. Like, how does one make that decision?
I'm like the only one that's a Ranger chiropractor. So I think the only reason that I ended up going that route is because I couldn't find a solution to my problem. I tried a whole bunch of things, and it just never went away. And my wife actually is the one that said, go to my chiropractor, or go to the chiropractor and get this fixed. And I remember blatantly saying, I'm not going to one of those kooks or quacks that isn't even a real doctor. I'm not. I straight up said that to her, and boy, do I regret that now.
So do you consider yourself a real doctor?
I consider myself a real doctor more than a lot of doctors.
Nice.
Because
do you have to go to medical school before you go to is that like a specialty?
So chiropractic has its own 4-year education after your undergrad.
Got it.
So it's like med school is after your undergrad. Chiropractic school is a 4-year school after your undergrad.
Got it.
So it's very similar, but obviously we're not learning about treating things with medication. We're looking at how do you move the body, how do you nourish the body, and how do you make people healthier without drugs and surgery.
Homeopathic, like a DO.
No,
yeah.
Food. No homeopath.
No homeopathic.
No. I'm talking about like food and exercise.
So my lower back was killing me all the time when I was getting fatter, and then once I started being more active and not sitting down all the fucking time, it made a difference.
I don't know.
It honestly, that's probably the key to most people's back problems is you don't move enough. That's why your back hurts.
Or, well, I don't know. I've injured my back like twice in the last 3 years. Not that they were my fault. One was a injury sustained at our Muay Thai gym. I rolled a bag that weighed more than I did on top of me it's a ground and pound technique where you roll it on top of you and like punch them from below. Well, I guess I twisted wrong and I seized up my sacrum. So that was one. So I actually had to see a chiropractor for that. The second time I slipped on a pool of blood while I was coating a baby and tore ligaments down my spine.
Oh, lovely.
So that they did not send me to chiropractor for. It was also workman's comp. So they sent me whatever quack doctor they decided to. Couldn't even see an ortho, nothing. It took months to recover from that. And even I still will wake up, or if I work out too hard, I still have not gone back to a high energy workout, like a high intensity like I did before. It really has taken its toll on me. It's very difficult to trust my back because if I do try anything high impact, I'm regretting it for days after, and it's devastating. So it sucks.
That does not sound fun.
No, it's not. I'm sure you can't do much for that though.
So
It
do you
depends.
use your Ranger Pass as a way to market your?
Hey, let him finish the. What'd you say?
Yeah, I see some pretty messed up backs. I see people with, I mean, I had Harrington rods come in. They were fused from L3 to T3.
Ooh.
I see people with, natural fusions, disc injuries, tears all over the place. So maybe it depends. It depends on what exactly is going on with you.
Got it. A lot. How much time do you have?
He's a chiropractor, not a psychiatrist.
Oh, sorry, my bad. We'll talk later.
So how hard was it to get into chiropractor school after bush diving?
What is bush
So
diving?
after bush diving. Oh, bush diving. Oh boy.
Oh, please tell me.
I have no clue what this is, but you put it in
sounds
the.
filthy. If it sounds filthy, but maybe he's skydiving into a bush. I don't know.
Essentially, that's essentially what it is. So when we were so a lot of my buddies, we were in Columbus, Georgia during Ranger Indoctrination Program, which is basically the program you have to get through to be assigned to the 75th Ranger Regiment. And they would give us, we were in the pre-hold for it, so we weren't technically in the course yet. We were kind of in limbo. And they gave us weekends off, which is a horrible, horrible idea.
Sounds like a great idea.
Go on.
For the weekends, we would go into Columbus, Georgia, and we'd rent a hotel room, all of us, like 5 or 6 of us in one room. And we would just go out to the bars. Well, one night, one of my buddies, I think it might have been my idea, to be honest.
No.
There was a bush, and I think I slipped and fell into it and like reached into the bush, and it was like a pillow. I'm like, what? There's no branches in this bush. Like, it's just a huge pillow. And so I just jumped into it. And of course, everyone laughs, like thinking I fell in there. And I'm like, no, you got to jump into this bush. It's the softest bush you've ever felt. So next thing you know, 6 guys like climbing on top of this retaining wall, like jumping into this bush. So, and every weekend we would find this, I don't even know I wish I knew what kind of bush it was, because it's the softest thing you've ever felt. We would find this bush and someone would try to one up you. Like, all right, you're going to jump into off that wall. I'm going to jump off that balcony. And never, the craziest thing ever, one of my buddies decides, we're pre-gaming, right, in the hotel room, and he literally runs straight out the front door of this hotel room, off the front balcony, over the wall, into the bush. Second story.
How?
All of us thought he was dead.
Was he injured at least?
Not at all.
Damn, he deserved to be. Oh.
He's like, I didn't expect it to be that hard.
Oh my gosh.
So it became a tradition. Every single weekend, we were trying to find ways to one up each other on that.
Wow.
That doesn't sound like military people at all.
Oh my gosh,
No,
it sounds
not at
exactly
all.
like JD. I swear to God, he would be. Did you just use that to wipe your eye?
Yeah, my eye
Disgusting.
itches.
Oh
Or
my
it burns.
gosh. So JD and his friends would jump off roofs into pools and off balconies and crap. And I'm like, these guys are the most idiotic. I have to have one of them put a baby in me because they're so stupid.
I triumphed.
Yes.
I think that says more about you. I think it says more about you than it does about them.
You have no idea. Like I said, how much time you got, dog?
I think one of the funniest drinking stories I have
Oh no.
was with Eric, one of my best friends. I've been out of the service for 20 years now, and we still talk regularly. We left the bars one night and then went to a local grocery store and tactically acquired a shopping cart and threw it in the back of the truck.
I don't
Tactically acquired. Got it.
Tactically acquired. And then
They stole it.
parked the truck
He stole it.
about a half block away from a taco cabana. And it's like 3 a.m. I stripped down in nothing but socks and a smile. And they pushed me through the taco cabana drive-through, where I made like a $150 order of breakfast
starting
tacos.
to sound like a lot like our first date. Like a lot like our first date.
And then so I made this huge order of shit that I had no means of paying for.
Oh no.
And they're pushing me through the drive-thru, and they just go by the window, and I'm just like waving as we go by, and then somebody's on the other side of the drive-thru of the truck. We leave the shopping cart there. I jump back in, and then
Again,
you didn't even see if they made the food. Like
no. I wasn't going to stick around, and it was a little chilly.
no, but
So-
she was like, "There's plenty of beef out there for us to use for this order."
There wasn't that much asada there.
it was a little chilly.
Yeah, it was chilly.
Aw.
It's okay.
Aw.
Yeah, this shit. Like I hear college students talking about their funny drinking stories. I'm like, they just can't compete with the stupidity of military drinkers.
Oh my gosh. So I saw this meme the other day. It was talking about, oh, do you remember in college where you didn't care about throwing a ping pong ball around and hitting the ground, then it's in the beer you're drinking? And like, I'm like, what the fuck? I was playing beer pong like 2 days ago. Like, I'm like really upset by this meme. Like, these are judgy assholes out here.
Yeah, are.
And something else you had mentioned in the form I had sent you was rip hold or RIP hold.
Yeah.
What is that?
That's the RIP hold was Ranger Indoctrination Program. At the time we went through, it was 2004.
Oh,
and
okay. That's the name of the program.
That was the
Or
name
when you were
of the
in
program.
limbo.
Yeah, that you're in limbo. Like there's so many people there because we're in war, so everyone wants to be a ranger, and they throw you in this condemned barracks and let you be crazy.
All right. So I don't know if I'm going to get you in trouble or not right now, but you talk about a bartender in your book that you wanted to marry.
Did you marry
Yeah.
her? Is that the one you
Is that
married?
your
It is.
wife now?
Yeah, she's I think already in bed.
I'm the bartender he married.
Yep, she's the bartender I married the day we met. The day I got out of the military and moved back home.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
bartending
wow.
to pay my way through college. So there you go.
Yeah.
So he saddled his wagon to my whatever.
But did you have to ask her like for 6 months for a date? Because I did.
No, but
No, I just had to ask her a ton of times to marry me.
yeah, I was like, no.
She made me do it the right way. I actually had to go and ask her dad. And
And he had to get a real job, and he had to get his own car, and he had to get his own place.
Oh, yeah.
I
I was a
very
piece of shit.
specific stipulations, and the fucker tried to ask me to marry him before he met those stipulations, and I was like, I said no until.
man,
you
how
did
your
that.
standards have dropped since then.
I know. Now I'm like, can you just close the door so the kids don't hear?
Can you put the toilet seat down, please?
Oh shit.
Still working on that one.
Well, that's it. That's, I mean, getting him house broke has been interesting. He pees in my yard when
It's
he's
the
drinking with
it's
his
my
friends.
backyard, and it's fine. It's right outside the door.
I mean,
Whoa.
We
Does
live in a
everybody do that?
neighborhood, a very nice neighborhood, and there's houses that can see his junk from their windows.
I'm in the shadow.
he's
It's
still-
fine.
I don't know that it's that big a deal, to be honest.
I don't like.
He's
my
our guest, so he's
backyard
right.
being my men's room or whatever you call it.
Well,
mean,
at least I
I'll
don't
go
feel
out
see.
there.
Oh, good. Thanks. How is that helpful, Tony? God. Oh, well, I'd pee there and I'm a doctor. Oh, okay. Now I'm starting to see it. There we go. Well, come on over and piss in my yard, I guess. Fuck. I don't know.
But I might take you up on that.
Anyway, if you want to come to the beach, we're down here. I mean, wait, you're in Conroe. Oh, so that's like north of San Antonio, right? That's where
No,
you're at.
Houston.
You what? Or Houston,
Houston.
that's what I meant. So how far are you from Galveston then?
A little over an hour.
A little over an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're probably further. But still, we're close to the beach.
Yeah, I haven't been to Galveston in
I've never been to Galveston, I'll be honest. He talks about Galveston, and I was like, must be
20, 21 years. It's been
21 years. So what kind of
old.
ladies were you banging in Galveston right before I met you?
none.
Gee.
Hmm. Filthy. He used to date strippers.
I was military. Come on.
I'm surprised you didn't marry one then. Don't you all marry strippers?
I didn't marry any strippers.
I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't marry strippers. I didn't mar
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's good.
He wants a fucking medal because he didn't marry
So-
a stripper.
Tony, tell her what are the safety briefs right before you go on lib? It doesn't matter where you're stationed, what your job is. What is a safety brief that everybody gets?
Oh, please tell me.
I mean, it definitely involves strippers. It always involves strippers.
Like to tell condoning it?
Depends on who's the first sergeant is, but how we used to do it was he would always say, bring a buddy, wrap it up. And what was the last one? Oh, don't buy a car. What was the other one? Gosh, he had a few that he would always use. But yes, and don't marry a stripper. That was always it.
And don't marry. Okay, because
Don't marry a
like I've
stripper.
seen jokes about that, like safety briefings, like don't get fucked up and steal a car. Yeah, I wasn't planning on it. Okay, don't marry a stripper. I don't even know what. And like I've seen, I mean, it was pretty hilarious actually.
They did have to add one to our safety brief that I don't know if
Was
you
it
heard of this one.
Was it because of you?
Don't rob a bank, because apparently some rangers decided to rob a bank in Tacoma.
Oh shit!
Nice.
Yeah, so that was part of our safety brief from then on.
Oh, special ops robbing a bank. I bet they were stealthy as fuck. That is awesome.
I mean, apparently they weren't stealthy as fuck.
because they got caught.
They might have been like
were pretty
marginally stealthy.
They pretty much. So I mean, you can find these articles online about it because it was a big deal. But the FBI agent said it was one of the most tactically sound robberies they've ever seen. But they were so dumb that they used their own car as the getaway car.
Oh my god.
And they cut off an old lady at the bank, and the old lady called the police on them for cutting her off. Yes, that's how they got caught.
Shut the fuck up. So
It's always the
they had
small details.
If they had to cut off the old ass Karen, they wouldn't have been. Oh,
They probably would have got away with it.
damn.
Yeah.
That's.
And now one of the guys is in jail probably the rest of his life because he tried to kill the other guys that he was in the robbery with, and then he threatened the DA. Yeah, it's a quite interesting one.
That's-
A classy crowd.
wow. I mean, I kind of want to see how they pulled it. Like, I mean, am I the only one that wants to pull videos on this?
I know. I want to see the footage.
I want
now.
to see. Let's pull receipts on this shit. I want to see it now. I'm excited.
There are a couple of pretty good articles that kind of go through the play-by-play, and you're like, "Wow, that was legit."
Right.
I think they were in there for 90 seconds total, and they left with like 80 grand or something like that, somewhere around there.
Oh, my
Dude, they
God.
must have watched Point Break a bunch.
Oh no, I was gonna say Fun with Dick and Jane. It's really funny. So it's way worse.
Yeah,
no,
they had a guy yelling out the time hacks, like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and then just left.
That's cool.
So
That's
yeah,
super cool.
I'm surprised it's not a movie yet.
It's just one of
It will
those
be.
things. I know, but that's the problem. It's like anytime I see like those murder shows and it's something legitimate, like I've seen in the emergency room, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's like a thing. Like they probably shouldn't tell people this because it's really hard to solve murders when they do this. And it was like, ooh, and they just put that on TV. Someone's gonna do that. Someone's wife is gonna die this weekend, you know? And I'm like, oh shit. So
Yeah, I will see you later in the
yeah.
Was it- When you were talking about that story, I was reminded there's a theory about Heath Ledger's Joker character was a discharged Army Ranger, and that's how he was so like
Stop
tactically badass and all this
it.
shit, and then all the PTSD and everything
Oh,
which kind of makes sense from the outside looking in.
I could see that.
Just people, as a disclaimer, if you're thinking about murdering someone using something you saw on TV or robbing a bank using the videos from these people's actions, can you just like look up the repercussions of your actions? Because like I talk about justifiable homicide with JD all the time. It turns out, just because they piss you off really bad, it doesn't make it justifiable. And I haven't done lady on lady action since college, so I can't go to jail. So I'm really rusty, like super rusty. And so until I get back into that, I can't. It's not justifiable homicide. I know. I'm sad too.
The fact that you've thought it through this far has me really concerned. I don't know who this was, but it just says Facebook user because they didn't go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, give her permission to see the name.
Okay, so
But they asked, did you ever go over potholes and trash besides the road? I did 66,000 miles of convoys in 05, 06 and still have trouble panicking.
I mean, I don't drive by lots of piles of trash, but I definitely was more aware of the things on the side of the road. 100%. I'm actually still that way. I notice the little things on the side of the road, especially like up here in Conroe, we get lots of deer, and you'll have a bunch of, you know, the buzzards and big old giant birds around there eating it. So I'm always looking to make sure that they're actual birds and not like trash or potentially an IED, I guess. But I'm not that concerned with it, but I definitely look.
wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that anyone who's been in a lot of convoys overseas in that era for sure thinks about it.
I don't think you should drive through Corpus.
Yeah. The amount of potholes and trash in Corpus would scare anybody.
Might put you in a catatonic state. It's not, I mean, only certain neighborhoods. It's not like every neighborhood in Corpus is trashy, but there are definitely neighborhoods in Corpus that, yeah, it could be dead body, could be a trash bag.
Oh my gosh, everyone. So I'm part of a veterans group here. It's the Iraq Afghanistan Veterans Organization. It's a local thing. It's not a big national thing. It's an excuse for us to get together and drink and barbecue and get all the wives and kids together and hang out. And then we get together and we
the wives are invited?
Sometimes.
That was a mistake.
But,
wrong thing.
How dare you?
We don't have any money in our bank account because as soon as we get it, we're spending it on veterans in the community, just the locals. You know, just we don't have the funds to worry about national. And so we ended up paying for 6 veterans to go to the Harley Davidson motorcycle class to get their motorcycle license, and they hold the riding portion of it in the parking lot of an old closed down dog race track because it's a gigantic parking lot, so it's a perfect spot for it. Well, one of the Marine veterans goes to relieve himself in the bushes off the side of the parking lot.
Oh no.
And
oh no, it gets better.
Finds a dead body when he's pissing.
Oh.
Oh, it gets
and
better.
it's like it's covered in like because the whole area has like these unkempt palm trees and stuff. So it's been years where the palm fronds have fallen down. So this body and it's got like, you know, it's not decomposed yet, but definitely miscolored.
Where
and then there's some palm fronds on it and everything. So they have to stop the whole class. Call the police, everything like this. Please come, cordon it off before they touch anything. Start doing their pictures. Snap, snap, snap. After like a 3-hour ordeal, turns out it was a sex toy, a very realistic silicone sex toy that had discolored in the sun when it was disposed of.
Yep.
Corpus is staying classy.
Someone broke up with their girlfriend and dumped her.
I'm like, why would you throw that away? That thing had to cost a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
Like with a full body?
I mean,
yeah, a full body sex toy.
It's one of those realistic ones where people like take them around town like they're their girlfriends, like one of those. It's like, yeah, but even still real funny. And he should have just taken it home and you know, used an onion and cleaned it off.
Disassembled it, thrown it in the dishwasher.
And then he could have had a
Yeah. I mean, I don't judge. Whatever you do, you do.
You do you, boo. You do you.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. So he like pissing on someone's dead body sex toy.
Seriously, if I didn't have pictures of it, I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
That's just one of those stories. It's just so far-fetched.
Yeah, it was.
It took 3 hours for them to figure that out.
They were trying to not disturb the scene, so they were taking pictures externally and picking up evidence until they examined the body. They were waiting for the medical examiner, I guess, to get there before they touched the body. And medical examiner gets there and he's like, yeah, she was never alive.
Yeah.
She never had a pulse.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's good shit there.
Yeah.
I think I'd be pretty embarrassed if I was the cop who called the medical examiner.
It could have been worse. I mean, if he'd started CPR and given it mouth to mouth. And he's like, why does this taste familiar?
Oh.
Oh,
Too soon? No.
That's not. Oh,
Well.
that's why I married her.
Get off my counter, woman.
See, she was talking about the cats. Yep, they're one of the cats right there. So, oh, go ahead.
No, you're good.
It's hard to top sex doll CPR.
I don't know. I was like, where do we go from there? It's,
How did we do that? How did we even get there?
it was
It was organic. That's how we
Yeah.
got there. It happened organically.
adult ADHD. That's how it happened.
You don't get into sex dolls organically in a normal adult conversation. I don't want to be you.
Yeah, fair.
So, do you use your Ranger background as like a marketing ploy for your practice?
Not really. Most people find out and they're like, "What? You did what?" So no, I don't think that would be honestly, I don't know that it would work. Like
You don't
here,
think so?
here's an airborne ranger. Let him adjust your neck.
Oh, valid.
I
You're
mean,
like, I can kill you with this stuff.
Yeah, I've had to explain that to a few people.
Wow.
No, actually, no, I don't know how to do that.
That's a good.
But if I were to do it, I'd do it a little different than this.
Yeah.
it wouldn't quite be like this, but so how are you paying for this?
Yeah.
Oh.
A little
Yeah.
psychological coercion.
Another reason why I never look at the balances on people's accounts.
Oh, that's a good point.
Never.
That's someone. I never even thought about that. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unpaid parking tickets galore.
No, just the like for a doctor.
That's what
going
I'm
in to see-
saying.
Yeah.
It's like unpaid parking tickets, man. So we call it in the emergency room.
Yep. You
We're
get a lot.
we're gonna treat you. We're obligated to. Like we got the Hippocratic Oath. We've got so many things backing us. We're gonna treat you. But
you don't want to know that.
no.
You just don't want it in your head.
And sometimes it's I think the one thing that pisses us off is like, don't tell us you had chest pain knowing you're gonna get a bed first. When you know you don't fucking have chest pain, you just want pain meds. Like that pisses me off. Like you're taking a bed from someone who needs the fucking bed. Like,
And they all learn the right things to say, don't they?
oh yeah, to get the drugs quicker, what they're allergic to, so they can get the better stuff. Oh, they have it. It's like an art. Art.
Yep, it is.
So what are our viewers? Chaz says that he's scared to go to the chiropractor. What would you say to anybody that's scared to go? Because I'm sure that he's not the only one.
No. I'd say there's probably a good portion of the population that's scared. But honestly, it's one of the safest things you can do as far as medicine goes. My malpractice insurance is probably less than most nurses.
Really?
I pay $1,500 a year
Good
for my
God.
malpractice insurance. So clearly, if it was really dangerous, those insurance companies would be getting their money. We all know this, and it's like nothing.
That's the second time this week I'm like, damn, I went in the wrong business. The first one was there is a person who works at the HEB in Corpus Christi who is an HEB sommelier. A sommelier, he drinks wine all day so that he can give recommendations all day at HEB. And then he does consultation for the higher end hotels, restaurants in Corpus. So the guy probably makes way more money than I fucking do. And he gets to drink wine all day. And then you pay like, damn. I went to school.
Most people find that out and they're like, how is that possible? Isn't it really dangerous? No, it's not. If you have someone who's competent and knows what they're, I mean, just barely even knows what they're doing, honestly. It's really hard to mess it up. The motions that we put into people's bodies are normal motion. So it's fair to be scared though, because obviously you've never had it. It's different. It's new. It's weird.
Yeah, Chaz is talking about he's seen videos where people got yanked by their heads got yanked with straps. So are you like a dominatrix?
Yes, I've seen that. The strap, what is it? Y strap, I think. Yeah, that most people don't do that. But that's
I think that's the only thing that freaks me out is I've seen the videos of like just the neck, like the back stuff. I've seen videos of them cracking backs and realigning backs. The neck thing freaks me the fuck out, where it's like, and you can, it feels so loud.
It feels
so
good.
A lot of times, not as loud as it is on the videos though. Those are all edited. But the Y strap that he's referring to, the strap, I mean, no one's doing that to me. So
is it like an archaic practice now?
No, I mean, it does have some therapeutic value for like a very small percentage of people, in my opinion. Like I have some people that are so compressed that they could use that, but I'd say most people, like if they're doing that on everybody, it's for YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Like honestly, that's my opinion, but I could see how that's scary. I mean, that's ridiculous. It looks like they're pulling their head off.
Yeah, like you see the ones where it's like a full-on chokehold. Just
Chaz, I'm married. God. I'll rip your head off for free, bro.
She will. She will.
Hey, fold my towels wrong, and I'll crack your neck for you.
Yeah. About the towel folding.
Does she fold it in thirds or in halves? How do you do it?
Thirds. Yeah, always thirds.
Yeah.
Yeah, always thirds. If you fold it in halves like a barbarian, I'm gonna lay into you.
Half.
That's how I always did it until my wife's like, no, we don't do it that way.
We don't do it that way. I'm not wiping my ass with it. We don't do it that way anymore. We don't do it.
God, do you remember? I don't know if you had to do this. Do you remember basics in there with tweezers having to make the ends of the towel fucking dead even?
Yes, I remember using a lighter actually to like burn the little
fuzzies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that bad.
Rolling your t-shirts, do you still do that?
We didn't roll our t-shirts. We had to fold them in 6-inch squares. They had to be folded a very specific way, and there was like this fucking
I actually like the way he folds his t-shirts. I actually like it. So I'm never going to comment on that because I actually like it because it prevents the wrinkles and you can see what shirt it is. And it's like, hey, there's something to that folding.
See, you learned something valuable in the military.
Yeah, how to fold t-shirts. How to fold 6-inch squares. Like my underwear, my shirts, my everything was the same size.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Totally worth it.
I'm actually jealous.
I think that's probably one of the only things I carried over was folding.
Yeah, you don't join for the GI Bill. You join for those 6-inch folds.
That's right.
That's it. And how he hangs up his clothes. They have to be like spaced separately, like so many, whatever it is apart. And then they're color coded and lengthwise. Like, yeah, that's blue, but it's long sleeve blue. It has to be.
Short sleeve shirts, short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, short sleeve polos, long sleeve polos, short sleeve button downs, long sleeve button downs. Pants on the bottom.
Mine is chaos.
That's what my wife is, though.
Yeah, I'll whisper to my shirt, "Good luck," and like chuck it at a hanger. It's not.
You can tell Chaz was Navy because he says fold and stow. Basic training, learning how to fold and stow.
Oh, Chaz.
Stow. I think Chaz was a submariner. If I remember right.
Knee knocker.
Yeah. There's no fucking way I could do that.
Chaz, we need to talk. What year did you get in? I want to make sure that you didn't get some of that asbestos lined. Oh, he said submarines.
Yeah, submarines. Yeah.
Then you're fine.
Yeah, there's no fucking way you can get me on a submarine outside of just like a small tour at port.
Well, a
Oh,
lot
I've
of
done
those.
small tours and I'm about to pass out in those little tours.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, I hate it.
You're good, Chaz.
Are you claustrophobic?
I don't think so, but being underwater, just not my thing.
So you're never gonna be a SEAL then. Ever gonna be a SEAL.
No, I'm never gonna be that cool. You're right.
Really?
Your hair's not perfect enough.
You're not a big enough douchebag. I'm so sorry. Sorry if you're a SEAL out there and you're watching this. It's my bad. It's just the ones we've met are just total tools.
I mean, I know a few that aren't tools, but I also know a lot that are. And they're
Actually,
still, I will say they're still my friends, but I let them know that they're tools.
I went to engineering school with a guy named Kelsey, and had I not seen his
A guy named Kelsey.
yeah, I'd never met a dude named Kelsey before, but one day he was wearing short sleeves for the first time ever and had a huge trident on his forearm tattooed. I'm like, "You a SEAL, man?" He's like, "Yeah," and then just over the course of talking to him and stuff, he knew that he wasn't one of those guys faking it, but he never ever brought it up unless somebody else brought it up. Like he was the true humble,
Who?
the
I
quote
never
unquote
met
humble
this-
hero.
I never met this guy.
Well, you didn't meet much anybody from my engineering school.
No. You went away to
Yeah, I went away for that.
engineering school. So
I was in
yeah.
Tyler, Texas, living away from home for that shit.
It's the ones that are quiet that saw some shit or are legitimate, like they're not boasting and stuff. It's just the ones that didn't do much are the ones that like brag about how badass they are, and you're like,
Most of the time, that is definitely true.
it's like, man,
Like that corpsman that you know.
like the guys that claim they have that talk about how big their junk is all the time, and most of the time it's like, oh, it's cute. Where's its mommy? And then same thing.
Oh, going back to the submarines, Chaz says people say their worst fear is water leaks on subs, but the worst is fire because it sucks all the oxygen out of the sub.
Ooh, I
Yes.
didn't think about that.
No, thank you.
No, I don't want any of that.
Put me in the water.
You're like underwater diving, not so bad now.
I actually found a very
good.
interesting tidbit about my job today that I didn't know. I work at a steel mill, and I'm on the furnace deck. We melt roughly 200 tons of steel in 45 minutes, from solid to complete liquid, 3,000 degrees in 45 minutes. And they're carried around by an overhead crane in these gigantic ladles. And I found out today that if one of them falls and spills the liquid steel all over the place, that pretty much everybody within like 10 or 15 foot of the spill is going to die, not because of the heat, because it's just so hot it sucks all the oxygen out.
Holy shit.
Great. I have a new fear. That was fun.
Tomorrow we're applying for life insurance.
Right.
Which is also why, but
This also
anybody-
was always there.
well, anybody that operates any of the cranes that handles liquid steel, you have to do this extreme physical background check that I went through. I didn't realize why until now, but yeah, you have to do EKG and full physical, all this extra stuff. If you can't pass your EKG, you can't run it.
We have a good
And now I'm like,
question.
all right, now I realize why.
We have a question. Question for the doc. Is it harder to adjust a fat person or a skinnier person?
Man, that's a tough one because I would say most of the time someone who's overweight, but there are some skinny people that are very arthritic and they just don't move very well. So it's more of a quality of motion of their joints than it is their weight, but it definitely it's a lot more work to adjust someone who's overweight for sure.
So would you say then usually younger is easier than older, where they stiffen up?
Oh
more?
yeah.
Yeah. JD, you're fucked.
Yeah, I'm fat and old. Jesus, damn it.
Yeah, you
There's
are
no
in trouble,
hope.
man.
I've been watching the wrong kind of porn. I need to go for those fat old guy porn. Just playing. I don't watch.
Man,
I don't watch porn.
I never thought you could hurt me like that. But jeez. That one stung.
I'm just playing. I completely disagree with all of that except for the old part. So
So I'm fat.
completely agree. No, I said I disagree with just. Oh no, I don't disagree with the old part. I only disagree with the fat part. That's what I was saying. Maybe
Get
I
your story
misspoke.
straight.
No, same story.
Justifiable
You're not
homicide.
fat. You just have the beer, like a beer belly, but with skinny everything else.
It's like-
but you are old.
It's like Mr. Potato Head with toothpick appendages. Doesn't matter how many days I hit leg day, I'm fucked.
Why do I want to beg Mr. Potato Head? No, I don't know. You tell me. It doesn't make sense.
Oh my goodness. And with that, we need to start wrapping it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we close it out here, Tony?
I kind of want to talk more about Mr. Potato Head, but no, nothing else.
Oh, I'm going to put the head in Mr. Potato Head.
Oh my goodness. And with that, we are going to call it a night. Tony, thank you very much for joining us. It was an absolute blast. I hope it was everything you wished for and more. Probably not, but I'm okay with that. I've come to terms with it. What do you got?
Not that it was great meeting you, Tony. So thank you for coming on the show and joining this absolute chaos that we call a podcast.
And thank you all for tuning in. As always, if you're going to be out drinking, make sure you find a sober ride home or drink from home. It's way cheaper and you don't get in fights and you don't make bad decisions. Go to bed with a 10, wake up with a 2.
Unless it's a bartender. Apparently it works out for everyone who bangs bartenders. So just saying.
So thank you all. Make sure you go check out all of our old episodes on YouTube and any of your favorite podcasting platforms. We'll see you next week at the same beer time, same beer channel. We have another author on with us next week, Trip Ains. He's a Marine vet that does sci-fi, but like really fucked up sci-fi stories that people would make up when they're on deployment, hopped up on Rippets. So we have that to look forward to next week. Again, thank you very much, Tony, for coming in. We'll see you all next week. Love you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.